Are you going to do roll call?
I guess we're back to that.
Yes,
huh?
we are. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Good evening. I'd like to call the village board meeting for the Village of Cary for Tuesday, November 21st, 2017 to order with roll call, please.
Kostler. Here. Betts.
Here.
Weinhammer.
Here.
Cavelli.
Here.
Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll now go to the open forum where the public is invited to make an issue-oriented comment on any matter of public concern not otherwise on the agenda. I'm told that there's nobody that has signed in. Is there anybody that would like to address the village board before we proceed? One more time, is there anybody who would like to address the village board? Okay, we'll go ahead and close open forum. I have a few things on my mayor's report. I'm adding a couple to it just so that the public is aware. Our village clerk has resigned, and we will be holding an open process for that. I'm currently going through with staff to reevaluate our application, and we will send out an application process to the community, hopefully at the beginning of January. I have a couple proclamations this evening. The first one is a National Drunk and Drugged Driving Prevention Month, 3D, December 2017. Whereas the December holiday season is traditionally one of the most deadly times of the year for impaired driving, and whereas for thousands of families across the state and the nation, holidays are at a time to remember loved ones and to remember loved ones lost, and whereas organizations across the state and the nation are joined with the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over and other campaigns that foster public awareness of the dangers of impaired driving and the anti-impaired driving law enforcement efforts. And whereas the Village of Cary is proud to partner with the Illinois Department of Transportation, traffic safety, and other traffic safety groups in an effort to make our roads and streets safer, and therefore I, Mark Kaunick, Mayor of the Village of Cary, do hereby proclaim December 2017 as National Drunk and Drugged Driving Prevention Month, 3D in Cary, and do hereby call upon all residents, government agencies, business leaders, hospitals, and healthcare providers, schools, and public and private institutions to promote awareness of the impaired problem, to support programs and policies to reduce the incidence of impaired driving, and to promote safer and healthier behaviors regarding the use of alcohol and other drugs this December holiday season throughout the year. Dated this 21st day of November 2017. And one more proclamation for the Illinois Bicentennial Flag Raising Day. Whereas on December 3rd, 2018, the state of Illinois will celebrate its 200th birthday, its bicentennial, and whereas the Illinois Bicentennial will be a year-long celebration that will begin at the Illinois Bicentennial Flag raising at noon on Monday, December 4th, and whereas our community should encourage citizens, organizations, business, and cultural and educational institutions to participate in the year-long celebration by submitting applications for endorsement of their events and projects by the Illinois Bicentennial and visiting Illinois200.com and using hashtag Illinois Proud. And whereas the Illinois Bicentennial will showcase Illinois influence on American history and culture, achievement in invention, business, and art. Now, therefore, I, Mark Kaunick, Mayor of Cary, do hereby proclaim December 4th, 2017, Illinois Bicentennial Flag Raising Day and kick off the year-long Illinois Bicentennial celebration that will pay tribute to the people, places, and things that will inspire pride in Illinois every single day, dated this 21st day of November 2017. And one more just for fun. I think in this time of year, this is the first time in many years that we've had Thanksgiving 2 days from our board meeting, and I'd like to take a couple of minutes for our board and anybody else that is going to be presenting to the village board to kind of give one or two things that they're thankful for. I participated in this before, and it's quite interesting. So I'll go ahead and get started. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for the community that we live in. I'm thankful that I have the opportunity to serve the Village of Cary and to look for wonderful things that can happen for the Village of Cary in the near future. And I'm very thankful that we have a great staff that helps us get things done. Without them, the Village of Cary wouldn't be as fruitful, I think, as it is too. So I'm very thankful for that. So I'll open it up. Maybe we'll start with Trustee Cavelli down there.
Okay, well, I wasn't prepared for this, so I, of course, am thankful for my family, my health. I'm thankful for everything I have in life. Life is very precious and it's very good. So, and I'm thankful for all of our residents out there as well. They're great, and that's it.
Good. Trustee Weinhammer?
I'm thankful for the health of my family and my children. Love them. They're great. And just echoing him with the residents, thankful for them and their ability to be able to communicate with us. So yeah, I wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Trustee Betts?
I'm very thankful for the family that I have. They're a part of my life that I can treasure every day. Also, the freedom that we have in the United States and that we live in this great village that we do live in.
Thank you. Jake?
Would it be wrong if I didn't say my family? I kind of, I have
I'm
to,
talking to Nikki right after this.
Yeah.
That's all I could say.
I have to agree. Very fortunate to have a healthy, loving family. Very appreciative of them.
Adam, you can join in.
Sure. I'm thankful for the health and welfare my family has. I'm thankful for the blessings we have, and I'm thankful that I have the opportunity to share that with people and help them have a better life also. So look forward to continuing that.
Trustee Kostler?
I echo the rest of the board's sentiments, but also I am thankful for my family, and I get a little nervous when I say this, but I hope my soon-to-be fiance, Jan, we'll see in the next couple of weeks if that comes true, but I hope it does.
No, this is being recorded.
I know.
and videotaped.
And she's watching, so that makes it even harder. But, and I am thankful to be able to serve the people of Cary.
Thank you. So anybody that decides they're going to come up and talk to the village tonight, that's the first question I'm going to ask you. So consider yourselves warned, okay? Our next is our consent agenda. We're removing one item tonight, and that's item number 1. So I will entertain a motion to approve consent agenda number 1,
Number 2.
or I'm sorry, number 2 through 5.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Hang on here. Who's second?
Yeah.
You? Kostler?
Yes.
Cavelli?
Yes.
Kraus? Or excuse me, he's not here. Weinhammer?
Yes.
Betts?
Yes.
Thank you. And I will entertain a motion to approve the warrant dated 11/21/2017.
I wanted to have discussion on that before
We have to move and second
we
it
move it.
first.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. What would you like to discuss?
I just wanted to discuss the attorney bills. I know I had asked for additional information pertaining to them. And I know Jake had polled the trustees and yourself prior to letting me have any additional information. You guys had said, no for no additional information. But I don't like the polling in private. I would like you guys to have everything put in front of the residents. This is the second time we've been polled privately about gaining information, and I don't feel that it's very transparent. So I am requesting additional information for our attorney bills.
What type of information are you looking for?
Well, I had FOIA'd from Algonquin Township, their bills, and they're more detailed than ours for some of the examples. I can go ahead and get them to Jake, but ours are pretty vague. Ours, I don't even know, like, some of the things that they're talking about, like continue analysis of conflict issue, prepare for meeting, discuss various pending issues with Jake, and follow up with trustee. Has nothing to do with our village board meeting. And so I would like some additional information for the things that the village is paying for.
Just so I understand it, is it more of a summary? Because when we had talked about it before, you were looking for memos related to their work, and
No, I
are
didn't
you now?
say, I'm sorry if you misunderstood me. I'm not looking for memos. I just want more information. Like, Like, here's an example from Algonquin Township. Legal research, review of the township officials of Illinois Law and Duties Handbook for cited authority prepared by Ansel Glink et al. On issues of public meetings associated with the road district. Everything is broken out, like even like by just phone calls, and every little item is just broken out. And I would prefer to see that so that I understand what we're paying for.
Like, if I'm looking at this, so this month, are we paying for over $14,000? If I look at the warrant.
Correct, it's 15,500 in total. That includes the
Okay, because
prosecuting fee.
there's two separate.
Those are two, that includes the prosecutor.
The prosecuting fees was $7,500. It's all broken down into various.
Okay, yeah,
Work.
I see one for 1,150. There's another one for over 14,000.
Labor was $600. The corporate was $4,550. Zoning and land use was $450. Development matters, which are usually reimbursable, were $1,500. Prosecuting was $7,500. And administrative adjudications was $900.
So when we're being polled in private and then there's an action being taken place, is that an OMA violation? Like, can we just go ahead and poll trustees and ask them how we want to proceed with doing things, and then I'm denied additional documentation for what we're paying for?
So Jake is allowed to poll you individually and have one-on-one conversations. Any two of you can talk to each other and not have it be an OMA violation. So that system of figuring out whether or not there's consensus is pretty commonplace. In terms of the detail of the description in the bill, if the board is looking to get more detail, on certain items we can be more detailed. There are certain items that we're deliberately less descriptive about because it might disclose advice that we give that we would prefer not to make available in a bill because our bill is subject to FOIA.
Well, when you say that, like your description for one of them, like PI Telecom, is very in-depth. So I don't understand, and I think that's, a little bit more private, but that description is very descriptive, where the other things are just very vague.
I mean, I can work with Ansel Glink to see if there's a way that we can expand on this without making it a significant project here. There are times when if there is an item that you feel is vague on the bill, I want board members to reach out to me and let me know. And if you want additional information, I'll be happy to have a conversation with you about that.
Okay, so that's just a little frustrating because that's opposite of what I was told prior to tonight.
Well,
That I wasn't allowed to get additional information because you had polled, and that three of the trustees and the mayor did not want me to have information pertaining to some of the bills.
When we were talking about it previously, though, you were looking for substantially more information. And as we had the opportunity to discuss it now, it seems like it's more of a broader description of what they have in their bill right now.
I believe how I interpreted your request was you wanted memorandums from our attorneys regarding the conversations they're having throughout a legal process. And that has not been our best practices so
I would like
far.
things
May
broken.
I please finish?
Yes.
It has not been our best practices. And typically what happens is we'll get a summation or a memorandum of understanding so we know what exactly had happened. Every time that we generate a memo from our attorneys, it costs us money. So we're trying to be frugal with our attorney's expenses. As you can see, our attorney's fees are substantially higher than they have been in years past because of the change in our attorneys. Because we had an independent person before, now we have a firm. So when you're looking for specific information and you want something in a memorandum form during the course of an investigation, that could cost the taxpayers a substantial amount of money. That's why they wrap it up with a memorandum. What you're asking for right now is more detailed descriptions on their billing. Those are two, in my opinion, those are two completely different asks. When we were polled by Jake as a consensus, that is what he asked us for, was to spend more money for memorandums on every course of action during the week that our attorneys are dealing with a specific matter. What you're asking for right now, I have absolutely no problem, because that falls on the attorney's that they need to be a little bit more descriptive. And I think Jacob can work with Ansel Glink to get that rectified.
And then with regard to polling and taking action on things, can we just have it discussed in front of everybody from now on, like versus, polling us and then, accepting action or denying action on things?
If that's what the board wants to do, I try to poll people so that we can move business along. There's some times when we're not going to have the ability, if this is a confidential matter, to have it be discussed in front of the public here. We have items, so future agenda items on the agenda for a reason, so that the village board can bring items forward and we can talk about them and get a consensus if we want them on the agenda or not. That's where I'd encourage you to bring up items that you want to have on future agendas.
So you and I can discuss after the meeting, what I meant versus what was voted on. We can go ahead and get additional information pertaining to the legal bills. Is that what you're saying?
There are times when I guess Ansel Glink can be a little bit more verbose in the legal bills. There are times with confidential items, as we heard from Attorney Simon, where we may not want to. You always have the ability to ask me for more information if you want to know more of what's included in the legal bill. I'll say, Jennifer, I got your request. I sent it out to the board, and it was a board decision here. But I encourage going forward, we take advantage of the future agenda items and discussion by the village board to decide what items are on the village board agenda.
Okay. Because as a trustee, it's our job to safeguard the public's money. And so when you're saying that it's confidential information, it sounds like it's confidential information even to myself as a trustee to see what we're approving for finances.
No.
I'm not trying to keep anything from you, and I would say as all village staff too, we're stewards of taxpayers' dollars, and we're going to look at everything with a critical eye.
So the resolution is that you and I will discuss a more detailed billing with Ansel Glink. Is that correct or no?
I don't know if there's a reason for you and I to discuss it. I'll work with Attorney Simon to see if we can add some more details to the bills.
Okay.
Yeah, prospectively, we'll ask the attorneys who work on Kerry stuff to be more descriptive.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Does that answer your question on this then? Can we move forward on this, or do you want to table this till the next meeting?
No, we can move forward. I just wanted to have a discussion on it.
Okay. Okay, any other questions on this warrant? Roll call, please.
Cavelli,
Yes.
Weinhammer,
Yes.
Betts,
Yes.
Kostler.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving along here, I will entertain a motion to approve a resolution approving the modifications to the refuse, recycling, yard waste collection, and spring cleanup schedules.
So moved.
Second.
We discussed this at length at committee. Is there any other discussion on this?
I know I had emailed Jake, and there was a resident who had asked me to see if we could extend the brush pickup past November 30th, if they still have trees that have leaves on them. And Jake said our current contract goes through November 30th.
Correct.
Is that something that the village can go ahead and extend?
I'll let Jake answer that.
I think we'll kind of wait and see. We can reevaluate this. I'll work with Director Morimoto and see where we're at on November 30th. I just don't want to commit to anything right now. Within the next week or so, knock on wood, we could get some snow here, and that may impact that. So we'll circle back on the issue and see where residents at. And if the board gets any feedback on this, let us know. But Eric and I will evaluate it here come later this month, early December.
Okay, thank you.
There may be an additional expense to that, so the staff will have to look into that too.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Just so the residents know what's going on with your garbage collection, the village is going to a 1-day-a-week service. The entire village will be serviced on a Wednesday. In addition to this, the refuge collector advance has agreed to kind of boost the services that we're getting. We're also going to be able to put one large item out per week without a bag, so that's a bonus. They're also going to have 2 days of spring cleanup, one for north of Route 14 and one for south of Route 14, and that will happen on a Saturday, 2 consecutive Saturdays, so that should help. What else was the, so just so, that's pretty much it. So there's a value added and less traffic in the village. So the traffic in the refuge will be just taken on a 1 day a week rather than 4. So that'll be better for our roads, the environment, and everything else. So just for that description. So any other questions from the board?
I just have one quick question. Will this come at a higher cost?
No.
No.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready to vote then.
Good.
Tish Powell.
Oh, Trish is back.
I am, and I won't use my talking trash line since I used it last time.
Been there, done that, right?
Been there, done that. Good evening, board. I'm Tish Powell. I'm the municipal marketing manager with Advanced Disposal. To add to the list that you ran off in terms of what we will be adding, we will be providing electronics collection
That's right, yeah.
dumpster at your public works facility to allow for residents to dispose of electronics free of charge. That's something that that's also included in here. I was also going to mention, based on some of the concerns I believe that Trustee Cavelli raised at the last meeting, during that first week when we transition to this new schedule, which will be the first week of February of next year, we will continue to collect on the normal days on Monday and Tuesday of that week, so that those folks on Monday and Tuesday schedule don't have to hold their trash for more than 7 days. So during that first week, when we'll be transitioning to the Wednesday collection day, people who are scheduled for Monday and Tuesday collection will get serviced on their normal days as well. So they can put out stuff on Monday and Tuesday and even Wednesday, and then we'll go to the Wednesday collection. So I hope that resolves some of the concerns that you had.
Thank you.
Certainly appreciate, Tish, you and your team working with the village on this. I think it's a win-win for both organizations, so thank you.
We think so too. Thank you.
Thank you. Jim, you motioned for this, didn't you?
Yeah, I think
And who was the second?
I was.
Roll call, please.
Weinhammer,
Yes.
Betts,
Yes,
Kostler,
yes.
Cavelli.
Yes.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion to approve a video gaming license for RSB Wine Bar Incorporated, doing business as Bella's Bistro Market, located at 630 Northwest Highway in Cary. Do I have a motion?
make a motion.
Do I have a second? The motion fails because I don't have a second. Thank you. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the November 7th, 2017 Village Board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, edits? Roll call, please.
Betts,
Yes,
Kostler,
Yes.
Cavelli,
Yes.
Weinhammer.
Yes.
Thank you. And I will entertain a motion to approve the November 7th, 2017 Committee of the Whole meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion, edits, changes? Roll call, please.
Kostler,
Yes.
Cavelli,
Yes.
Weinhammer,
Yes.
Betts.
yes,
Moving right along to Administrator's Report. Jacob?
Mayor, Village Board, I put before you here a draft budget calendar I also sent out to you here last Friday. Would like you to review this and get back to me. We've got a couple meeting dates that are on here. I want to get this to you in advance so you have an opportunity to plan your schedule. Please let me know here if you have any feedback as far as the meeting dates go. You can just shoot me an email within the next 2 weeks on that. I'd appreciate that. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. Department head reports. Chief, you have anything for us? I will. What are you thankful for, Chief?
I'm going with what everyone else said. Just a reminder that beginning this December 1st, we have our winter parking restrictions in place so that there's no overnight parking. It'll extend this year to the end of March. So it's from December 1st to March 31st, and we'll be putting out notices, and I made sure that the website was corrected to reflect just that restriction.
Thank you, Chief. Director Morimoto? Thanks. Mike?
Nothing.
Are you thankful for anything?
Everything I am.
Brian?
Just a brief update for the Harper Point development. We've issued a permit for.
What are you thankful for?
I'll get to that in a second. The Harper Point development, we've issued permits for the 8 duplex units that are being constructed on the corner of Harper Point and Haber Drive. So you should see some activity on that site within the next week or so. They might start some foundation work out there. As far as thankful again for my family, as everybody else is. But I also I'm thankful for the 2016 Chicago Cubs. So.
Thank you, Brian. Any future agenda items and discussion by the village board?
I just wanted to find out what we're going to do about the clerk's position. So
As I mentioned at the beginning, we're going to go out for a process again. We have an opening for it, so we'll put together, I want to fine tune the application a little bit more, drill down into a little bit more of the job responsibilities and get that out circulating and hopefully have somebody first part of February in the
and
fall.
what about the people that have applied previously? Are you
They
gonna,
could reapply,
they have to reapply or can
or they could send in a letter stating if they could reactivate their application. I would accept that.
Okay.
I have one thing I need to ask the trustees. Is the McHenry County Conservation District, they're doing their 2018 Conservation Congress, Sustaining the Dream, Stewarding the Places We Love. And I'm looking for a volunteer trustee on February 10th, 2018 to attend this on behalf of the Village of Cary. It's a pretty much an all-day event at McHenry County College. And it talks just all about, the partnering with the natural resources, and it's really kind of a good thing. Dave Chapman, our former trustee, he was our representative last year, or 2 years ago, I think it was, and he said it was an unbelievable experience. So I would be hoping that maybe one of the trustees would want to, I'll give you time to think about it. I have documents here for you guys to review. It's kind of an interesting process, so I'm just going to throw that out to you all too. So we'll be looking for that, and I will send out a reminder email about that too. So
We can send out the documentation too, because there's trustees that obviously are not here tonight, so that everyone can see that and review it. And if we have a volunteer for an all-day event, then thank you.
I think you get a nice lunch too, just bonus. Okay, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We will start the committee meeting in a couple minutes once we get re-queued up with our video